I'm the Drink Pro, and today we're drinking Knob Creek with Aaron from the Cask Chasers.
Hi!
Alright. What's up, everybody? Drink Pro here, Aaron from the Cask Chasers.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm out in town here in Indianapolis for a work conference, and I decided to give you a little visit here. Well, actually, you're visiting me in my hotel.
Hey, it works perfectly. We're doing on-site shots. I'm glad you brought the light because I couldn't get my lights here. We're making it work, you know?
That's right.
Sometimes you gotta get a little DIY.
That's right.
Yeah, so today I brought some Knob Creek. Now, this is a store pick. This is sitting at 60 proof, 15-year-old bourbon. Knob Creek makes some really good products. I really like their store picks. You came into bourbon sort of through scotch, is that right?
Yeah, so in my younger years when I would drink a whiskey, it would be a bourbon.
Right.
But when I got serious about it,
Yeah.
when I started wearing shirts with logos, when I got really serious about it, I started with scotch. I begrudgingly started trying some friends' bourbons, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, if I'm in a liquor store, I'm looking at bourbons more often than I'm looking at scotch. That might have something to do with I know a little bit more about scotch, a little bit less about bourbon.
Yeah, it's a fun area to explore. I think bourbon also, I came into this through bourbon.
Yeah.
And I think people that start with scotch, and you haven't done this, and I appreciate you not doing this, but a lot of people who start with scotch and come into bourbon kind of discount bourbon as being too simple, too singular, and
It all tastes the same.
Right, you hear that all the time, and it's like, well, you haven't really been exploring the palate. If you just stick with, 100 proof bourbons from Old Forester, Wild Turkey, you're not going to get a lot of nuance, but if you start exploring, you can find some cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a pick from the Rural Inn. Some of you will know who that is, some of you will not. I highly recommend it if you are in Indianapolis. This is just such a quintessential, rich, sweet, bourbony scent.
Yeah, I'm getting almost like a maple syrup type feel.
Yeah.
From it. Maybe not maple, but definitely.
There's definitely a
syrupy
syrup.
thing.
You know what it's like the fake maple syrup, like Aunt Jemima's.
Yeah. Yes. Maple flavored syrup.
Because there's hints of maple. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's more corn syrupy. It's much sweeter.
Yeah. Now at my house, we've switched over to like light syrup, so I mean my palate for syrup is all off right now. So maybe I can't speak intelligently.
That's one of the things I've been wanting to do. I'm glad you mentioned that because I had the idea with baking spices to like line up different baking spices, but I haven't thought about that with syrups.
Yeah.
But you could do corn syrup, maple syrup, molasses,
Absolutely.
brown sugar, honey. People get all of those notes.
Yep.
And so I would love to see if those are actually what we think they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
No, I don't think they are. We just came up with a thing.
We just kind of made it up.
Let's do it.
Pulled it out of our ass.
All right, so a little ethanol, a little hot. So
it is a little hot.
What I'm doing is I'm breathing through my mouth, and you automatically breathe through your nose a little bit on that, and that's getting me a little deeper.
Yeah, opening your mouth really does help clear out some of that ethanol.
Into the smell there. A little wood. I'm not getting a lot of wood on the nose.
I'm getting a little bit of nuttiness, honestly.
Okay.
It's not a peanut, but there's a nuttiness there.
Maybe a walnut.
Ooh, that's a good note.
Nut.
That's a good note.
I just said another.
I think
nut.
it's a Brazil nut.
A Brazil nut.
Yeah.
All right. Macadamia. Maybe.
Macadamia. Yeah. Pistachio. It's not. It's actually not pistachio, which is stupid. But I know it's not pistachio. Pistachios are sweeter than this.
Right. Welcome to the Nut Pro, everybody. Well, I'm gonna taste.
Let's do it. Oh man, it really tells you that there's some wood in there. You know this has been in a cask for 15 years.
Now I'm starting to taste a little bit of that nuttiness. Nut jokes aside, I didn't get a lot on the nose.
Yeah.
But on the palate, I do get a lot of that nuttiness. Mm-hmm. It does come in a little hot, a little bit of that. Woo, like that. You know that face people that don't drink whiskey make when they drink any whiskey. I was almost making that face. But then that clears away. I get a nuttiness. I get a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah, the vanilla's there. I get a little bit of. There's definitely a woodiness to you. You know this has been in a cask for a while, and then I think I get nuttiness on the finish for sure, and I also get a little bit of a sweetness there in the mid palate.
Okay.
Like it definitely starts with that almost oily mouthfeel.
Okay.
And then it kind of to me moves into this sort of woody with sweet undertones into the nuttiness. But it's firmly in that area of the world. I'm not getting fruit in this at all.
No. And it's funny that you talk about that oily mouthfeel. I didn't get that at first because it's very much on the front of the palate. You only get that oily mouthfeel for a second.
Right away.
I was a little taken aback by how by how just potent it was. But the mouthfeel is really weird. It goes from that oiliness to almost sort of an astringent sort of feel to it. Like almost like the oil's on there and then it's stripping itself away.
You can feel your teeth, the enamel coming off of them. That's kind of what it feels like.
There you go.
I don't think that's what's actually happening.
You should try this. It's great.
I don't think you're actually getting your enamel stripped. I want to be very clear. That's not what's actually happening. But you feel that like something being sucked away.
Yes, exactly. And that like something being pulled off.
Yeah. And I think it's just because it is such a high proof that the moisture in your
Yes.
mouth is not ready to deal with that.
Yes.
Oh, but the sweetness is much more prominent on the nose when you go back to it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I get some of the baking spices.
I get almost like a nutmeggy type on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see the nutmeg.
Okay.
Or at least what I think nutmeg smells like.
That's right.
Well, we can get more pretentious with this if you want.
Oh, we could.
we can really
I haven't gone pinkies out yet.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely get that vanilla on the finish as well. Do we want to put a little water in it?
Yeah, let's do it. Don't be afraid to put some water in your whiskey, ladies and gentlemen, because it will make a difference, and it's something they do around the world.
Yeah, very prevalent in Scotland.
I'm going to add more water than I normally would, just because
I'm watching you there.
I've added a little bit earlier today, and I really want to just go for it.
I'm not going to put quite as much as you put in.
You do have less
there.
whiskey. I made myself a pretty heavy pour.
So instead of, 15 of these, I might go like 5-ish.
Don't worry, we can edit all this out.
That's right.
But I probably won't.
We probably won't.
They've gone a little hard on the water.
Now that's not nearly as hot on the nose.
No, it's not nearly as hot. I will say, putting that much water in it really brought out those baking spices.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting a lot.
It's almost just like if you walk into a bakery and you can't and you're like, oh, what are you making? You never know.
This smells like I walked into a bakery that was located inside of a mill. So it's just woody and just fresh cut timber,
all right,
and then baking spices. Without all the smells of like making actual wood, because I know there's a lot of chemical smells that come to that. Like an organic mill. Is that a thing?
It is now. Now I'm getting way more wood on the palate.
Yeah.
Than I was previously.
It's not as... See, I was getting a lot of like that bitter barrel tannin flavor, but now it's just like woody.
It's wood, a little sweet. Mm-hmm. And this might just be because you put it in my mind like a sawdust. Almost.
Oh, okay. Hold on now.
Like a little bit of almost like a dryness to it, if that makes sense.
I could see that on the finish, like right at the start of the finish.
Yes.
I'm in the transition between the mid palate and the finish.
One thing that I'm always locking onto is right between the palate and the finish. There's almost, not always, but there's very often something real interesting going on there.
That's almost always a transition point.
Yes.
Like something is changing there.
Yes.
This one jerks you around a little bit.
Yeah, and for a bourbon, that's unusual.
It is.
To me.
It is. I'm glad you could stop by. I'm glad I could stop by.
I'm glad you could stop. I'm glad one of us could stop by somewhere.
I'm glad I could stop by.
I stopped by Indiana.
You did.
You stopped by the hotel.
That's right.
So there you go.
That's right.
I'm glad we both stopped by.
I'm glad we both stopped by too. That's perfect. That's the way it should be. Sharing whiskey with good people is always a good time. So,
well, sorry I couldn't be better people, but I'm here sharing whiskey.
Everybody should check out Aaron, Cask Chasers. They've got a podcast. Find it wherever you find your podcasts. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're everywhere that good whiskey is drank.
That's right. Everywhere good whiskey's drank.
Everywhere.
All over the world.
And you know where to find me, the Drink Pro. Until next time, keep drinking like a professional, guys.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Boom. Good game, everybody.
Good game.
Snow cones all around.